And we're back here with part 5. We're on to case number 421 CV04179, Gomez versus domestic terrorist human trafficker Justin Ritter et al. Gomez, on or about the week of September 24th, 2021. Petitioner received an order on case District of South Dakota 420-4151 in relation to opposing summary judgment or something similar. Petitioner was intending to pursue his claims in court. The courts were continually depriving the petitioner of existing and available judicial remedies for colorable claims, intentionally inflicting mental anguish and subjecting petitioner to emotional distress for the deprivation of rights, and things became tense and stressful at home. Petitioner's wife was witnessing the mental anguish the petitioner was experiencing as a result of pursuing, practicing, and enforcing his constitutional rights, which were continually being deprived and denied. Petitioner's wife wanted Daniel to stop with the court stuff, and an argument began with petitioner's wife becoming upset and lunging towards petitioner's neck and throat, leaving scratches and pushing petitioner backwards towards the staircase railing. As a result of the suddenness of the attack and the fear of falling over the railing and down the stairs, petitioner, in an attempt to avoid injury and avoid further escalation, ducked his chin down towards his chest to dislodge wife's hands from his neck and get away, and ran towards the door, which would have been towards the front of him, and in doing so, petitioner's lowered head made contact with wife's forehead unintentionally, knocking her to the ground and leaving a lump on her head. Petitioner called police station, not 911, and stated he would be coming in. Petitioner got in his vehicle and left towards the jail. Petitioner reevaluated the situation and knew from frequent visits to the county and federal courthouses through the front entrance, not through the little back human smuggling routes that they got where they traffic you and smuggle you. Petitioner got the courthouse that if they did take him to custody, they would tow the vehicle from the parking lot, and it would cause financial loss to my wife to get it out. So decided to go back home, leave his truck, and see if officers were there. While it was safe to do so, and was taken into custody and accused of felony domestic assault, while screaming to the police body cameras about Roberto A. Lange and how to get a trial. Petitioner had no failure to appear and was previously always granted pretrial no cash bail or release. Because petitioner was actively pursuing a case against Minnehaha County and the state of South Dakota 420 CV04151, Appendix D, the Minnehaha County courts imposed a cash bond and the cash bond is the extortion. They kidnap you and then they want you to pay a bond. That's extortion, kidnapping for extortion. And intentionally obstructed Gomez from pursuing his claims. The police, the lawyers, and the state's attorneys did not want Gomez to have access to his court filings that were at his home, depriving petitioner of his property, papers, and effects, unreasonably seizing them in violation of the Fourth Amendment and violating First Amendment right to petition and access the courts, resulting in the current cases on certiorari before the Honorable Justices today. And I'm sorry that the Honorable Justice didn't get this case, but I hope somebody can tag them and maybe show them this video because they need to hear this. Amounting to an obstruction of justice and interference with official acts by law enforcement officers and state of South Dakota attorneys and the judicial officers. I wrote Robert Lange and told him I was in custody over this, and he granted me a little delay, and I couldn't research all this and fight all these cases at once, so I was doing all this by myself. I was able to pay the ransom for my pretrial release from Minnehaha County Jail on or about September 27th, 2021. I immediately walked across the street to the police department sheriff's office and asked for them to accompany me to my house so that I could gather some belongings. And what I wanted was my case files, mainly my phone because I had the electronic court filings access on there. My wallet, I didn't have an ID. I couldn't get a hotel or nothing. So my identification, tools to keep working. Sioux Falls Police Department have surveillance cameras monitoring the lobby of the police station, which can easily verify that petitioner did in fact go into and speak to an officer proving this fact, demonstrating that petitioner left alone without a police escort to safely and peacefully retrieve his movable property from his immovable property, his home, where I have a right to be secure from unreasonable seizures under the Fourth Amendment's guarantees. The prosecution failed and counsel for defendant failed to turn over in discovery. That video. The police department refused to provide an escort for the petitioner. That's in retaliation. I was given a cash advance by my employer providing a hotel for the night under his name. I bought a cell phone from Walmart since I couldn't safely retrieve my cell phone from home, which had my Pacer ECF password saved for quick access or any of my legal notes, papers, and etc. On or about September 28, 2021, I went to work without my tools, truck, or personal bank card, identification, company credit card, or clean clothes. I called appointed lawyer Caleb Paulson of Lockwood, Zarbach, and Cool Law offices and was given his email by secretary who answered the phone. I explained to the secretary that I needed to get my things and that police were refusing to escort me if she could relay the message. I then proceeded to email Caleb Paulson and listed a few things I needed. He responded to some of the email but did not advise me on anything regarding getting some of my property in the email. Exhibit 2. We spoke on the phone around noon before evening time. I asked him, how do I go about getting some of my things? This was about 2-3 days later after I had been out, so I didn't have these things for 3 days. He responded rudely with, I don't perform miracles. I wasn't asking for a miracle. A fast approaching deadline in 420 CV 04151. Being unreasonably deprived of all my property and of any legal assistance placed me in a state of duress and mental anguish, bringing me to the reasonable belief and conclusion that a federal offense in violation of 18 U.S. Code 242 was being committed. This provision makes it a crime for someone acting under color of law to willfully deprive a person of a right or privilege protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. It is not necessary that the offense be motivated by racial bias or by any other means. He don't perform miracles. I didn't ask him for a miracle. I simply asked for his assistance, his legal assistance. I sent attorney Caleb Paulson a PDF file of my contract for deed for my home via email and explained to him that I was going to my home for my belongings on or about September 30th, 2021, approximately 3 days after paying the court's ransom demands for my release from the hostage holding facility. I still hadn't been allowed an opportunity to retrieve any personal belongings, entering a state of duress and emotional distress. On or about October 1st, 2021, I went to my home, staying outside of my house. I began to retrieve my tools from my shed and place them in my work truck and continued to wait for a safe opportunity to get my belongings from inside the house. Officer Dunn report. He omits key facts in his reports too. Eventually, I seen 3 individuals dressed in dark clothing, shining flashlights, approaching me and asked me what I was doing. I explained to them my lawful activities and that I was getting my things, and as soon as I was able to obtain those things, I would be on my way, and asked if they could help me get the rest of my things from inside. They claimed to be police officers and told me I was being arrested for violating no contact order specifically. I responded with, I did not have any contact. Terrorist Ritter's report and Terrorist Bobier's report, Mitchell report. One of the defendants falsely stated that the no contact order included the property. Addendum 1, document 1, no contact order. That statement is patently false. The no contact order does not include the property. Petitioner did not commit an arrestable offense and was not committing or about to commit any crime to justify the respondent's Fourth Amendment violation, violent assault, and seizure and attempted murder. Officer Dunn later confirmed with the protected party that petitioner did not have contact. Officer Dunn's statement. Plus, I have cameras all around. I didn't go inside. The defendants were making false accusations and effecting an unreasonable seizure in violation of the Fourth Amendment and willfully depriving the defendant of his rights in violation of 18, 241, and 242. Defendant Ritter called over his radio declaring, "We are fighting." Ritter's report. Petitioner can be heard on the video responding, "I'm not fighting," and ordering his attackers to let him go, followed by a sudden assault without warning by respondent Ritter, who delivered a straight punch to my face. Bobier statement. I told them that I was not fighting, and I ordered them to let go of me repeatedly. I ordered them to leave. I ordered them not to come onto my porch. I also advised them that I had no trespassing signs posted and pointed them, and they looked at it. They ignored my commands. I advised them that they were abusing their authority and continued to order them to let go of me and let me leave. They began to threaten to use a dangerous weapon on me, repeatedly threatening, "You're going to get tased," 3 times, causing me fear for my own life and safety and my liberty, and causing pain. I reacted in constitutional self-defense. I defended myself from what I believe to be an aggravated felony assault by statute and definition by domestic terrorist police organization members under color of law and shielded by their co-defendants and their contract organizations, the courts. The judiciary is also part of that domestic terrorist human trafficking and smuggling organization, kidnapping under color of law. Mr. Officer J, or whatever your name is, don't be tagging me, man. Don't tag me in your stuff. I don't like seeing you already. Don't tag me, dude.